Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Josh Jagoda, and today I'm going to share with you 11 trends that I see in the health and wellness industry. I think this is really important for you out there to understand, because if you fall within one of these trends, or more than likely you're going to, so you're going to want to understand where you fall, how it is that you function within this health and wellness trends, and therefore as a result you might be able to fix some of your own problems or even spot some of your own faults so that you can improve your own health. So the first thing I see, I guess you could say in the physical health, is an awareness of the body. And I know that's very broad, but more specifically we're going to talk about mobility. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people use this word mobility. And mobility is something, it's about movement. It's just about how do you move. And a lot of people, when we get injured, we start to use that word mobility. And I'm just going to write it a little bit larger so you guys can see out there. So just mobility, it's just how you move. And a lot of people after injuries or prehab or rehab, they want to use this word mobility. And specifically in my office, a lot of people know what this means, but what they do is maybe they don't do the right drills, or maybe they don't know how to self-assess themselves. So if you're somebody out there who likes to use mobility drills, it's sometimes hard and difficult to figure out which one or which exercise is the best. But if you are doing it, it's usually a good thing. It's just making sure that you're doing the right exercise at the right time. Now, another physical health issue that I see, it goes two hand in hand. It's one, technology, which can be a good thing, and posture. So these are two different trends. We can group them together, but they're two different trends. Technology is great, right? It really helps us to enhance, in my opinion, enhance our health with regard to objective findings, to apps, fitness apps like MyFitnessPal, or kind of a Fitbit watch, something that you can really help track your own fitness. But it comes at a cost. We're always on our phones, we're in these bad postures, and that can wreak havoc on our bodies. So technology is really good for us because it can help enhance our skill, but at the same time, too much of anything is never a good thing. And our posture, especially in kids out nowadays, you guys will see this. Kids every time, at restaurants, at movies, they're not even watching themselves walk across the street. So guys, be really careful when it comes to your posture in regard to the use of technology. Another thing in the health and wellness industry that I see is this one. It's a huge one in our society right now, and that is mental health. Taking care of yourself mentally, because the mind runs the body. And back in the day, a few years back, a lot of people would say, well, they're not really connected, but they're kind of connected. We all know that they're connected. And if you don't have a good mental health, your body will suffer, and you may do some destructive things to yourself. So make sure that you are creating a good mental health. There's a lot of good habits that you can form, and there's also a lot of bad habits you can form. But this is something that's really trending right now, especially in the United States. And what goes along with mental health is mindfulness. And that is pretty much being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what you feel, being in the present moment so that you can actually focus on your mental health, on your physical health, whatever it is. If you're in yoga, it's being present and really just enjoying the activity and trying to be there physically. If you're eating, really trying to be present, tasting the food, really going along with that type of theme of being present and in the moment. And that will just help relax your body, reduce stress levels, hopefully help with your mental health as well as your physical health. There's also, we're talking about breath. So these all go together, but specifically these things really work together, mindfulness and breath. When you're in yoga, you really want to focus on your breath work, right? We really want to make sure that we're breathing properly, and a lot of studies show that a lot of people are chest breathers. things like that, right? So we really want to focus on our breath down to our diaphragm. We really want to get the proper oxygenation and blood flow and nutrients flowing through our body to really make sure that our whole body is healthy, not just one part, right? We want to make sure that our breath, which is the most important thing, one of the most important things, because without proper air, you're not alive. So you really need to focus on your breath. And when you start to breathe poorly due to bad posture, it's going to affect your mobility. It's going to affect your posture. It's going to affect your overall health. Okay? Another thing that I see in the health, wellness, and more nutrition diet field is attention to fats. You can also say keto. We're going to group those together because really fats have had a huge bad stigma for a long period of time. And now what we're doing is we're finally focusing on the research that says, hey, what kind of fats you should be eating? We all know our hormones and cholesterol. There's a certain amount of cholesterol that is necessary for good health because they are the biological agents for our hormones, which help with our entire metabolic system. And if you don't have good healthy fats, yeah, you can guess it, then we're not going to have good hormone production. If we're not going to have good hormone production, we're not going to have good metabolism. If we don't have good metabolism, things can get really chaotic in our body. And with regard to keto, we're talking about more of a higher protein, higher fat, and less of a sugar-based type of diet. I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with that, but there is some research stating for it because of the healthy fats. Going on to diet, we're going to talk about fasting. Okay? Intermittent fasting is going back to our primal era where we were once going with a sustained period of non-eating. So the real terminology now is about 16 to 8, meaning 16 hours fasting and then an 8-hour period where we can eat. And this is just really good hormonally, and it helps reduce fat, and it helps bring us back into the keto or the fat. A lot of these things tie in together, but this is just another thing that's trending, and there's a lot of good research on that, and I do support that, but you really need to complement with a good diet, and that's another thing. Finally, one of the other things I also see is, and this has been around for a while, is gut health and probiotics. And that is really important because we know now, and we've known for a while, that our gut health is really important in the development of disease, in the development of prevention of disease, because most of our immune system lies deep within our gut. And if we're destroying our gut with poor antibiotics, with things like that, and not really stimulating our food or our gut with proper nutrients and proper food, there is links to depression, Alzheimer's, and all these other chronic diseases. And so right there, gut health is really important. And then finally, the biggest issue I see with every single person, I did a huge research, anecdotal research. I asked about a few hundred people about what their biggest problem was. Time, guys. Time. We know that time is very limited for everybody out there, and we know that more often than not we're crunched between work, we're crunched between kids, soccer games, football games, personal, going to the gym. I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. But you're gonna have to make time, because time is so important, because without this here, you can never get to any of these other things. If you don't focus on yourself and give yourself the time you need, there's no way you can be healthy. There's no way that you can give yourself the time to be healthy. You're just going to give yourself time to suffer disease. And I like to just finish off by saying time is exponential. And it really means that what you do today can really dramatically impact your momentum and your ability to feel better tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Because with time, you're either doing one of two things. You're either prospering good habits, or you're wreaking havoc and continuing on with your bad habits. And the stronger you do one, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit, you're going to just strengthen it in regard to that time. So, for example, if you have a bad habit out there, guys, if you have something that's really detrimental to your health, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years with this problem, that habit is just harder and harder to break, and we all know that. So if you don't start breaking that now, it's just going to continue on and get harder and harder and harder. So really, you have to make time to create some good habits. You have to create time to make yourself healthy so that you can focus on the other things that are important to your life. So that is something that I see. Not everybody has the time. They say they don't have the time. We all have the same amount of time, guys, in a day. It's just how you use it. And I think that is the most important thing is, in my opinion, that I see. The most thing that I see that people complain about is the lack of time. But if you focus on 1 or 2 or 3 or one of these things, and you really put some time into gut health or time into intermittent fasting, you could reap some of the benefits. Or time into mindfulness, you can really reap the benefits of these things. But if you just say, I don't have this time, and you kind of just chalk it up as an excuse, you're going to just find yourself not being able to follow any of these. So these are the trends that I see right now. These are the things that are buzzing in the medical, health, and wellness community. But it always comes back to time and what you have time for. So guys, I just wanted to share this with you because I think that no matter what direction you're trying to take your health, whatever direction you're trying to make into your fitness, whatever your lifestyle goals are, you gotta make time for it, all right? So make sure that it is important to you, that you have a reason, and that you commit to it, because at the end of the day, if you want to achieve something, you have to put some time into it, guys. All right? I'm Dr. Josh Jagoda. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys for the next episode. Bye.